Right then, this is a very quick road test, and this is for a Honda CRV 2.2 diesel, and it's the executive model. Car's registered VE56DRV, and mileage at the start of this road test just turned over 126,000. It's 126,050 miles. Reason we do the road test is just to show you the car's in operation and to report back anything on the vehicle that you need to know about prior to coming to see us. I am critical on the videos, so if there's something not right about the car, I want people to know about them before they turn up to us, quite obviously. Just a very brief background to this car. Car's literally just come in on part exchange. Chap's bought another car exactly the same as this one, but with lower mileage. He loves the cars, but he racks up the mileages quite quickly. But he's had this car very, very well serviced. So starting with the engine of the vehicle, engine starts absolutely instantly, settles to a very smooth, very even idle, pulls really, really nicely, every bit as well as the car has just bought from me. They're a cracking engine, even with sort of very, very high mileages, and this doesn't qualify as as high for a Honda diesel. Temperature gauge in the car running at a third, which is exactly where it wants to be when it's at full operating temperature on the diesel or petrol cars on the Honda range. But there's no warning lights relating to the engine at all on the vehicle. So it pulls really sweetly, from low revs, but it's got plenty of oomph when the revs pick up, and it goes very nicely indeed. Engine then goes through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car, very smooth in actuation, bites absolutely perfectly, and the bite point on the brake, on the clutch pedal travel, again exactly the spot where it wants to be. Also, when the clutch is engaged or disengaged, there's no vibrations or noises emanating from the car at all. Clutch then goes through into the Honda 6-speed gearbox. Very, very good gearboxes, very strong. This one feels like it's straight out of the factory. It's very smooth, very slick shifting. They're very high quality gearboxes. You don't really have any issues with them. And the point of the video is to pick up on any wear and tear, but I can't feel anything on the gear change at all. In fact, the whole powertrain of the vehicle feels very, very good indeed. Few more revs just to pull it through the rev range, but it's all very nice. Steering of the car, nice and precise, no vibrations going back through the steering wheel of the vehicle at all, which is always nice. It tracks absolutely bullet straight as well. There's no vibrations at all coming back through it. Just feels nice and tight and taut. Also, the suspension of the vehicle, you'll hear it going over bumps like now, quite rightly, but there's no kind of metallic noises underneath sort of coming from the vehicle at all. Again, that's just things like kind of little anti-roll link arms and drop links, and suspension struts are all in good order because there's absolutely no noises coming from it. They're very comfortable cars to drive, very good through the corners like this one here. There's not a lot of body roll with them, which is really nice. Some four-wheel drives feel what they are, they kind of lurch and loll up about. But these are very, very car-like to drive. With point, I'm just checking a couple of things as I'm driving along. Got the heated seat on now, and that's roasting my backside, so that's all working very nicely indeed. Also, the air conditioning pumps out absolutely ice-cold air, so plenty of charge in the air conditioning system as well. Also means that the cool box in the centre here, pop your sandwiches and things in there, that's all working perfectly as well, because that relies on the air conditioning to be functioning as it should. Brake pedal on the car, nice solid brake pedal. Again, no vibrations, no pulsing from the brake pedal at all. Also, I do that sharp lock on the CRVs just to check there's no vibrations coming from the back end on a hard lock, which normally suggests you need a rear diff oil change, but there's nothing on it at all. Very, very smooth indeed. It really does go well, this car. It's a very, very nice beast. Looking around inside the car, so we've not cleaned or touched it yet. It's going to have a quick valet before the before it goes out, or so it goes not a valet, just a clean basically, because it's one of our part exchanges with that you just traded out as they are. The only things that I can find on the car that merit any mention at all internally, one, very obviously and very common on this age CRV, radio works absolutely perfectly, CD player works perfectly, but it says their DVD disc is reading error. That's for the sat-nav system, so we don't claim the sat-nav's working on the car. It may well be that it just needs a new disc or the lens cleaned. I honestly don't know, so just assume it doesn't. Fact is, it's a very old sat-nav system, and most people's smartphones these days are actually much better sat-navs than the car they ever were on these anyway. So, but we say we are honest about these things. Just checking the cruise control function, and that's all working absolutely perfectly as well. Electric wing mirrors work fine. The only thing that doesn't work on those, on the power fold, I think the one on the driver's side doesn't fold in electrically. So again, so that pretty much is the sum total of all I can find. Electric sunroof works perfectly well. All the electric windows work exactly as they should. And so the adjusters for the electric windows work perfectly as well. But for a car this age and mileage, it's been kept very, very well indeed in terms of its mechanical condition. We'll be giving it an engine service before it leaves. It's not quite due yet, so I think it's not due until probably March next year, but we'd just like to sort of freshen the oil up, make sure it's obviously good before it goes, regardless of how the car's sold on what terms. Obviously these are four-wheel drive vehicles, and this one uses what Honda have done for years, what they call it, this intelligent four-wheel drive. So it just runs in two-wheel drive as it is now for the majority of the time. Only as and when it needs a four-wheel drive to kick in will it do so itself. It automatically does it. There's no buttons to press. So imagine if you were pulling a caravan across sort of a wet field and the front wheels start to spin, the rear wheels will automatically engage and you just drive through. It's brilliantly simple and easy to use, and it automatically disengages as soon as it senses it doesn't need it anymore. And it's a bulletproof system. We've never touched them, absolutely never touched them. It's a wonderfully reliable system. But overall, as I said, the point of video is to be critical. A couple of really minor things on the car, nothing mechanically. It's all very nice indeed. But as I said, the point of video was just to sort of pick up on anything I could. Obviously, hope it's been of some help to you.